At one Fight Night 30, Roman Kryklia dominated Lyndon Knowles to retain his heavyweight Muay Thai world title. The two-sport, two-weight champ scored yet another first-round knockout, and his reign shows no signs of slowing down. The towering Ukrainian wasted no time going after the challenger and landed a hammering straight right that sent Knowles down for the count just 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the first frame. Kryklia scored his first knockdown with a huge knee strike up the middle, followed by a clean left hook. Knowles gamely returned to his feet, but Kryklia smelled blood in the water and he pounced. The Ukrainian's brutal finish earned him a $50,000 performance bonus and solidified his spot as the heavyweight Muay Thai king of the world. The win also extended his 15-fight win streak, which includes 7 consecutive victories in one. In the co-main, Regian Eersel delivered a vintage performance to beat Alexis Nicolas by majority decision in their trilogy bout, taking a 2-1 lead in their rivalry. However, his victory was bittersweet, as he was stripped of the world title after missing weight prior to the fight. After a slow start, Eersel took control in round 2, dropping Nicolas with a left hook, and continued to dominate in round 3. In rounds 4 and 5, Nicolas fired back, but Eersel had already run away with it. And after 15 minutes of action, 2 judges awarded him the victory, boosting his professional striking record to 63-5. In other highlights, Nico Carrillo bounced back with a second-round KO against Tszyu. The King of the North sealed the win with a brutal left hook to the body for the victory and a $50K performance bonus. Asa Tenpao secured a thrilling third-round TKO of Sexanor Kwamwang. The American Ninja dropped Sexan twice in their Muay Thai bouts before getting the finish. George Jarvis made a statement in his primetime debut by earning the score with Mushin Shafi. G-Unit dropped him twice to secure a unanimous decision victory. And El Mehdi El Jamari scored a stunning first-round knockout in his promotional debut, which left Tongpoon PK Senshai at 0 wins and 2 losses against the Jamari family. After back-to-back losses in world title fights, Tszyu scored the first win of his comeback with a knockout of rising American Joey Spencer. Now, he's eyeing off a showdown with Keith Thurman, if both fighters get their wish. The 30-year-old former junior middleweight champ started slowly, but surged in the 3rd round, asserting his dominance with a mix of speed, variety, and power. His aggressive yet calculated style, which once earned him a world title, then overwhelmed the American. With the win, Tszyu called out the former unified welterweight champion Keith Thurman, who recently defeated Brock Jarvis in Sydney. The two were set to face off in Las Vegas last year, but Thurman was forced to withdraw due to a torn bicep.
146.5 pounds.
Sign the contract, big boy. Sign the contract, dead Tszyu. If the fans want it, we can figure out a mega show. To the light heavyweights, the undisputed champion Dmitry Bivol will no longer be undisputed. Following his February win over Artur Beterbiev in their rematch for all 4 titles, Bivol has chosen to vacate the WBC belt so that he can face Beterbiev in a trilogy decider. Bivol was forced to drop the WBC title after the organization ordered him to face mandatory challenger David Benavidez. WBC President Mauricio Suleiman expressed dissatisfaction with Bivol's negotiation team, but offered good news for Benavidez. I have just received a cold and impersonal notification from Dmitry Bivol lawyer, Patrick English, with arguments that are so ridiculous that I'd rather not discuss, informing the WBC that Dmitry Bivol has decided to relinquish his WBC light heavyweight championship. We wish Bivol success and hereby confirm David Benavidez as WBC World Light Heavyweight Champion. The trilogy bout between Beterbiev and Bivol is set to go down later this year, and Benavidez should get a shot at the winner soon after. In other boxing news, Jake Paul is back in the headlines. This time, he's settling legal issues with Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing before they co-host the trilogy fight between Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, set for this July 11. The lawsuit arose from Paul's 2022 allegations that Hearn and Matchroom Boxing were paying veteran judge Glenn Feldman to favor their promoted fighters in scoring decisions. The allegations centered around Feldman's scorecard for Taylor's contentious win over Serrano in April of 2022, where he awarded Taylor a head-scratchingly wide decision. And Feldman's scorecard for Alexander Usyk's split decision victory over Anthony Joshua in August of the same year, of which Feldman's scorecard was the only one to score in favor of Joshua. In response, Matchroom Boxing filed a multi-million-dollar defamation lawsuit against Paul's most valuable promotions. However, attorneys for all parties have now requested a dismissal after reaching an undisclosed settlement. Staying with MVP, they've just signed undisputed women's junior lightweight champion Alicia Baumgardner, who will face Jennifer Miranda in the co-main event of Taylor vs. Serrano 3, and the Bomb is keen to steal the show. Amanda and Katie have done incredible things for women's boxing, and it's an honor to share the card with them. But I didn't come to stand beside greatness, I came to be it. This night, this spotlight, it's mine. Returning to the courts, a UK judge has urged British boxing promoter Frank Warren and British boxing royalty Chrish Eubank Jr. to settle their legal dispute. At a news conference in September, Eubank Jr. leveled allegations against Warren, as well as his former promoter Kelly Sauerland and Eddie Hearn, accusing them of defrauding boxers of their earnings for the past 20 years. Eubank Jr. apologized later that day, and Warren accepted the apology while also expressing regret if he had upset Eubank Jr. Despite this, Warren filed a slander and libel lawsuit against Eubank at London's High Court just 2 months later. If you don't want to mediate, fair enough. You're entitled to a trial, said the judge who was presiding over the situation. But I would have thought this type of case is capable of being mediated. In a sport where fighters threaten to eat one another's children, send people to graveyards, and throw tables at one another, Warren's decision to make this legal seems like an overreaction to say the least. Thankfully, at least one judge out there appears to agree. In good news for fight fans, former champions Caleb Plant and Jamal Charlo are set to co-headline a card this May, with a potential fight between the two heated rivals finally on the horizon after years of speculation. Plant and Charlo's long-standing rivalry escalated at the 2023 Crawford-Spence Jr. weigh-ins, when Plant was caught on camera slapping Charlo for reportedly tugging at his beard and disrespecting his wife. If both fighters win in May, their feud could finally be settled in the ring later in 2025. And in championship results, Janabek Alamhanallah retained his IBF and WBO middleweight titles with a dominant performance against Anuel Ngamesengwe. Lerone Murphy dominated Josh Emmett in his second UFC main event, earning a unanimous decision at UFC on ESPN 65. With title aspirations in clear view, the Miracle now sets his sights on former title challenger Brain Ortega. Manchester's Murphy was pleased with his stick-and-move performance, confidently claiming 4 rounds for the win. While critics point to his 5-fight decision streak since a knockout victory in 2021, the rising level of competition speaks for itself. This weekend at UFC 314, former champ Alexander Volkanovski will compete for the vacant title when he faces the first-time title challenger Diego Lopez, who took a path Murphy is eager to follow. Lopez earned his title shot by taking out 2-time contender Brain Ortega. Knowing title runs aren't freely handed out, Murphy has long seen Ortega as an inevitable stepping stone. Ortega is just a fight I've been looking at for a while, said Murphy after the win. And obviously, you see Diego Lopez go on to get a title shot after beating him, so I want to take a similar route. While UFC on ESPN 65 didn't deliver a fight of the night, Chang Ho Lee, Ode Osborne, Diony Barbosa, and Reese McKee each pocketed $50K bonuses for their stellar performances. In other UFC news, the heat is on Michael Chandler, with multiple analysts suggesting his UFC 314 co-main event clash against Paddy Pimblett could be make or break for the former Bellator champion. He's lost 4 of his last 5, so now Chandler needs a win, said Michael Bisping. But if Pimblett gets the job done against Michael Chandler, And he just might do that. If he can do that, I'm telling you, Paddy Pimblett is probably one fight away from fighting for a belt. Like Bisping, former champ Demetrius Johnson backs Pimblett's chances and then some. Mighty Mouse believes Paddy the Baddy not only beats Chandler, but makes a serious statement in the process. Paddy can grapple, he can strike, he can do it all, Johnson said. Michael Chandler is just a big ball of energy that goes from 0 to 2,000, and I know Paddy's going to meet that once he gets rocked. And at PFL 1, the welterweight quarterfinals of 2025 decided who will face who in the semis. After some last-minute substitutions, Jason Jackson will face the late replacement Thad Jean, and Logan Storley will face Masayuki Kukwiri for a spot in the final. Also at PFL 1 were the featherweight quarterfinals, where the 2024 champion Jesus Pinedo got a win to set up a championship rematch with Gabriel Braga. And in the other semi-final, it will be Movlid Haibalayev versus Taekyun Kim.
Thanks for watching. And remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.